See, politics matter because policy matters, because people matter. Politics affects policy. Policy affects people. People are made in the image of God. People matter to God, and therefore they matter to us. And so Christians don't have an option, nor should we want the option not to be political.
See, on this, we actually can't agree. Christians can't ignore politics because we all live in a world where politics shapes our lives. Engagement is inevitable, but here's where the disconnect is.
Because our most vulnerable neighbors are affected by politics, which affect policy. Our unborn neighbor is affected by our politics. The child who is confused about their gender is affected by our politics.
See, nowhere in her argument does she mention of actual people who are suffering right now. There's no mention of families facing food insecurity, no mention of people who can't afford health care, no mention of women, immigrants, disabled people, incarcerated people, or people working multiple jobs just to still be in poverty. Instead, the conversation always centers one group, the unborn, and the illogical fear that everyone wants their kids to be transgender. So when you push for policy, you have to understand what the impact of some of those policies are. Like the woman in Iowa who voted for this administration and then nearly died because doctors were afraid to treat her during a pregnancy complication due to abortion restrictions. That's not hypothetical. That's the result of a policy. Policies under this administration have cut food assistance. They've increased hunger for children and seniors. They've rolled back protections for workers and unions. They've criminalized poverty and homelessness. They've targeted immigrants in ways that separate families and endanger lives. And the list goes on. These are lived consequences of policies. And this is why the focus on the unborn gets so much pushback. As Methodist pastor David Barnhart said, the unborn are a convenient group of people to advocate for. They never make demands of you. They don't ask you to question patriarchy. They don't need money, education, or even childcare. They don't bring racial, cultural, or religious baggage. And once they're born, you can forget about them. So you can love the unborn without ever having to challenge your own wealth, your own power, privilege, or comfort. So many think that the Bible just stops at the unborn, but it names very clearly the poor, the sick, the immigrant, the widow, and the orphan. Those are the people Jesus explicitly calls us to protect. And the real fundamental difference between conservative Christianity and progressive Christianity, it's not whether we love our neighbor, it's how we define that love. See, at the end of the day, people won't remember how loudly you claimed moral authority, but they will remember who you showed up for, who you protected, and whose suffering you chose to ignore.